I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready, wrist. Thanks for coming. Constitution Day was created as a response to growing concern that our citizens didn't remember the basics of the founding of our country. So public education institutions are asked to give some kind of presentation that reminds us about our past and our future. And so I was lucky enough to get to present to you. I'll make it very short. The United States Constitution serves as the cornerstone of our nation's democracy and the principal guarantor of freedom and equality for all Americans. More importantly, it represents a lasting bond between the diverse people of the United States. It is the oldest and the shortest written constitution of any major government in the world. The genius of the Founding Fathers is reflected in the intricate sets of checks and balances built into our system of government by the Constitution. By preventing any one of the three branches from acquiring dominance over the others, these safeguards have preserved a sometimes messy but essential separation of powers. Despite all of the societal, technological, economic, and political changes in the United States over the past 200 years, the Constitution continues to demonstrate its power and its flexibility. As an example of its continued flexibility, the Constitution has only been changed 17 times since 1791. The first 10 amendments to the Constitution, collectively known as the Bill of Rights, assure basic individual freedoms essential to a democratic society. After the Civil War, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments continued to extend individual liberties by abolishing slavery, by assuring citizens due process in governmental actions, and by taking the first steps towards providing voting rights for all citizens, regardless of race. Part of the power of the Constitution guarantees, which we tend to take for granted, is that they provide inspiration to people across the world as they search and fight for liberty sometimes. On September 17th, 1787, the Constitutional Convention came to a close in the Assembly Room of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the very site where George Washington had been appointed commander of the Continental Army in 1775, where the Declaration of Independence was signed in 1776, and where the Articles of Confederation were adopted as our first Constitution in 1781. When the Constitution was signed, the United States population was 4 million. It is now more than 300 million. Philadelphia, at the time, was the nation's largest city with a population of 40,000 inhabitants. Prior to the adoption of the federal Constitution, and Articles of Confederation provided for a union of the colonies, many Americans in the 1780s recognized the inadequacies of the Articles as a national government, particularly their failure to provide the central government with authority to raise revenues, regulate commerce, and enforce treaties. Fear of an all-powerful government and the desire for a Bill of Rights seriously threatened the foundation of our new nation. The Great Compromise probably saved the Constitutional Convention and possibly the Union. The Compromise, which barely passed in a 5-4 split, called for proportional representation in the House and 1 representative in the Senate per state, which was later changed to 2. The resulting U.S. Constitution was the product of nearly 4 months of deliberations, which tried to create an energetic central government at the same time that preserved the sovereignty of the people. Out of 70 individuals chosen to attend the Constitutional Convention, only 39 delegates actually signed the Constitution. The oldest to sign, who you can probably bet was Benjamin Franklin, was 81. The youngest was 26. Because of Benjamin's failing health, he had to be carried into the convention hall on a sedan chair held by 4 local prisoners, and he actually needed help to sign the Constitution. However, as he did so, tears streamed down his face. John Adams referred to the Constitution as the greatest single effort of national deliberation that the world has ever seen, And George Washington wrote that, "It appears to me then little short of a miracle." The Constitution has served us well for over 200 years, but it will continue as a strong, vibrant, and vital foundation for freedom only as long as the American people remain dedicated to the basic principles on which it rests. Norman Cousins reminded us not to grow complacent, saying, "In a democracy, the individual enjoys not only the ultimate power, but carries the ultimate responsibility." Let us therefore renew our commitment to, in the words of the Constitution's preamble, form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Thank you for coming today. Forward, march.